What if I told you that the wait is finally over? That Pride and Prejudice 2 is no longer just a dream, no longer just fan theories and hopeful whispers, but something real, something official, something that might change everything we thought we knew about Darcy and Elizabeth's future. For years, fans have been asking the same question in endless discussions, comment sections, and late-night rewatches. What happened after the wedding? Did their love remain as strong as it felt in those final moments? Did real life test them in ways we never imagined? And now, after so much silence, the words official trailer and release date are being spoken in the same breath as Pride and Prejudice 2. It feels almost unreal. The original story felt complete, beautiful, and perfectly wrapped, yet there has always been a quiet curiosity in our hearts. A love story that powerful does not simply end when the screen fades to black. It continues, it grows, it faces storms. And that is exactly why the possibility of a sequel is so thrilling. Over the past months, speculation has been building at a surprising speed. Online forums have been buzzing, fan pages have been more active than ever, and insiders have started dropping small but very interesting hints. When studios begin using words like continuation, legacy sequel, and revisiting beloved characters, it is never random. It usually means something is already moving behind closed doors. What makes this even more exciting is the timing. Period dramas are once again dominating streaming platforms. Audiences are craving deep emotions, meaningful dialogue, and stories that focus on love, family, and personal growth rather than loud action and empty spectacle. Pride and Prejudice fits perfectly into this new wave. It offers elegance, emotional intensity, and characters who feel real even centuries later. So when early reports suggested that a trailer had quietly entered post-production stages, fans could hardly stay calm. The phrase official trailer changes everything. It means filming has happened or is very close to completion. It means casting decisions have been finalized. It means a direction has been chosen. And most importantly, it means the story has been written. A sequel like this would never be rushed without careful thought. The original legacy is too important. The pressure is enormous. That alone tells us that if a trailer is truly ready to be revealed, the creators must be confident. And then comes the biggest question of all. When will it be released? Early industry chatter suggests a carefully planned launch window, possibly aligned with a major anniversary milestone connected to the original adaptation. Studios love symbolic dates. They understand the emotional power of nostalgia. Releasing Pride and Prejudice 2 during a meaningful year would not only attract longtime fans, but also introduce a new generation to this timeless romance. But what exactly will this sequel focus on? The strongest rumors point toward the early years of Darcy and Elizabeth's marriage, not as a simple fairy tale continuation, but as a deeper exploration of partnership. Marriage is beautiful, but it is also complicated. Two strong personalities learning to build a shared life at Pemberley would naturally face adjustments. Elizabeth, independent and intelligent, would not suddenly become silent or passive. Darcy, proud yet deeply loving, would still struggle with vulnerability at times. Watching them navigate responsibility, estate management, social expectations, and possibly parenthood would add layers to their relationship that we have never seen before. And that is where the suspense truly begins. Because a sequel cannot survive on happiness alone. There must be tension. There must be moments where love is tested. Some whispers suggest financial or political pressures surrounding the estate. Others hint at outside influences attempting to challenge their stability. And then, of course, there are the familiar faces from their past. Family dynamics do not simply disappear after a wedding. Lydia and Wickham's unstable marriage could create new complications. Jane and Bingley's life might seem perfect on the surface, but even the gentlest couples face private struggles. A sequel has the opportunity to show maturity, growth, and even disappointment in a way that feels honest rather than dramatic for the sake of drama. That honesty is exactly what made the first story so powerful. And now, the idea that we might soon see official footage confirming all of this is almost overwhelming. Imagine the first notes of music beginning to play in the trailer. Imagine a brief glimpse of Pemberley years later. Imagine hearing Darcy's voice again, slightly older, perhaps softer. Imagine Elizabeth standing confidently beside him, not as a young bride, but as a woman who has lived, learned, and loved deeply. The emotional weight of that reveal would be enormous. And according to early scheduling leaks, the release date may not be as far away as we once feared. Some reports suggest late 2027, while others hint at an earlier surprise drop depending on post-production progress. Studios today are known for strategic announcements. They create suspense on purpose. They allow rumors to grow until the moment feels impossible to ignore. Then, suddenly, without warning, the trailer arrives. If Pride and Prejudice 2 follows that pattern, we could be closer than we think. What makes this moment even more intense is the simple fact that expectations are sky high. This is not just another sequel. This is a continuation of one of the most beloved romances in literary and cinematic history. Every line of dialogue will be examined, every costume detail will be discussed, every emotional expression will be analyzed. And yet, that pressure is also proof of love. Audiences would not care this deeply if the original story had not touched something timeless inside them. The idea that the creators are willing to step back into this world shows courage. It shows belief that there is still more to say. And maybe that's the most exciting part of all. Pride and Prejudice has always been about growth, about misunderstanding turning into understanding, about pride softening into humility, about prejudice transforming into compassion. A sequel allows us to see what happens after the lessons have been learned. Do they remain strong, or do new challenges force our beloved characters to grow once again? The official trailer promises answers, the release date promises a reunion, and the silence before that reveal only makes the anticipation stronger. Something is coming, and for the first time in a long time, it feels real. Now, let us talk about what the official trailer is expected to reveal, because this is where everything becomes even more intense. A trailer is never just random clips put together. It is a message. It tells us what kind of story we are about to witness. And if Pride and Prejudice 2 truly has an official trailer ready, then every second of it will be carefully chosen to spark emotion and curiosity. Insiders suggest that the tone of the sequel is more mature, slightly deeper, and emotionally layered. Not darker in a dramatic way, but richer. Life after the fairy tale wedding is not always simple, and that is exactly what makes it powerful. The trailer is rumored to open with a peaceful image of Pemberley, calm and elegant, almost perfect. But peace in stories like this often hides quiet tension. We may hear a voiceover, possibly Elizabeth's, reflecting on how love changes over time. That alone would send chills through longtime fans. Because the young woman we once knew has grown. She has responsibilities now. She's not just a romantic heroine anymore. She's a wife, perhaps even a mother, and the lady of a grand estate. One of the most exciting rumors is that the sequel explores the emotional balance between independence and partnership. Elizabeth has always been strong-minded and honest. Darcy has always been reserved but deeply devoted. Marriage between two powerful personalities requires understanding, compromise, and patience. The trailer might hint at moments where they disagree, not because they love each other less, but because they see the world differently. And that is real. That is human. Watching them face small conflicts and overcome them together would make their bond even stronger than before. This is not about breaking them apart, it's about testing the strength of what they built. Another major talking point is the return of familiar characters. Jane and Bingley are expected to appear, and their gentle love story may serve as a contrast to Darcy and Elizabeth's more intense dynamic. But even the sweetest couples face pressure. Social expectations, family responsibilities, and personal dreams can create quiet struggles. If the trailer shows even a small sign of tension in their world, fans will immediately begin analyzing every detail. And then there's Lydia and Wickham. Their relationship has always carried instability. Financial problems, pride, and poor decisions could easily grow into something more serious over the years. Some reports even suggest that their storyline may introduce the central conflict of the sequel. If they find themselves in serious trouble, Darcy and Elizabeth might once again be pulled into a situation that tests their patience and generosity. The idea of old wounds reopening adds suspense, because helping family is never simple, especially when trust has been broken before. What makes the rumored trailer even more powerful is the suggestion of time passing. We may see hints that several years have gone by, perhaps a glimpse of a child running across the estate gardens, perhaps a quiet dinner scene where responsibility feels heavier than romance. These small details would confirm that this sequel is not just revisiting the past for nostalgia, it is moving forward. It is showing growth, and that is exactly what fans have secretly wanted for years. A love story that continues to evolve feels far more meaningful than one frozen in perfection. The official trailer, if revealed soon, will not only confirm the sequel's existence, it will define its emotional direction. And that is why the anticipation feels almost unbearable. Now let us focus on the release date, because this is the question that keeps everyone awake at night. When will we finally see it? According to strong industry whispers, the studio has been extremely strategic. They understand that this project carries enormous emotional weight. Releasing it at the wrong time would reduce its impact. Releasing it at the perfect moment would turn it into a cultural event. Some insiders believe the premiere is being planned around late 2027, giving enough time for careful editing, music composition, and promotional campaigns. Others hint at an earlier release if post-production moves faster than expected. The fact that multiple timelines are being discussed suggests that progress is real. Studios today love surprise announcements. They often allow rumors to grow quietly before suddenly confirming everything with a dramatic reveal. Imagine waking up one morning to see the official Pride and Prejudice 2 trailer trending worldwide. Social media would explode. Fans would rewatch it again and again, analyzing every line, every expression, every hidden clue. That kind of viral reaction is exactly what studios aim for. And this story has the perfect foundation for it. It already has a loyal fan base. It already carries emotional history. All it needs is confirmation. There's also talk about theatrical release versus streaming debut. Some believe it deserves the big screen treatment, especially if it mirrors the visual beauty of the original adaptation. Others argue that a global streaming release would allow millions to watch it simultaneously, creating a shared worldwide moment. Whichever path is chosen, one thing feels certain. The creators know how important the sequel is. They will not treat it as just another project. The marketing campaign alone is expected to be elegant and carefully crafted, focusing on legacy, romance, and emotional continuation rather than flashy spectacle. Music will also play a huge role. The original soundtrack remains unforgettable. If the sequel reintroduces familiar musical themes, even briefly in the trailer, it would immediately connect past and present. Nostalgia is powerful, but when combined with new emotional layers, it becomes unstoppable. The release date announcement, whenever it officially arrives, will not just mark a calendar day. It will mark the return of a world many of us never truly left. But beyond the trailer and the release date, there is something deeper that makes this sequel so meaningful. Pride and Prejudice has always been more than a romance. It is a story about growth, humility, and understanding. A sequel gives us the chance to see whether those lessons truly lasted. Did Darcy remain open-hearted? Did Elizabeth keep her sharp honesty while learning patience? Did marriage strengthen them, or did it challenge them in unexpected ways? These questions create emotional suspense that goes beyond simple plot twists. There is also the possibility of new characters entering the story, perhaps influential figures from society who question Elizabeth's independence, perhaps business rivals who challenge Darcy's leadership. New personalities could bring fresh tension without taking attention away from the core love story. And if the sequel includes a child, that alone introduces powerful emotional stakes. Parenthood changes people. It reveals fears, hopes, and vulnerabilities that were once hidden. Watching Darcy, once so proud and guarded, soften completely as a father would be a moment fans would never forget. At the same time, the sequel must respect the elegance of its origins. It cannot become overly dramatic or unrealistic. Its strength lies in subtle emotion, meaningful dialogue, and quiet intensity. That is what made the original unforgettable. And according to early whispers, the creative team understands this responsibility. They know that this is not just a continuation, it is a legacy. As the words official trailer and release date continue to circulate, the excitement feels different this time.